E-commerce store owners, do you want to scale your revenue 300K plus while maintaining a 17x ROAS? In this video, I'm going to go over step by step how I did this for my client using Google Ads. As you can see here, from the date ranges of January 12th to January 11th of a full entire year, we had a 17x ROAS. We increased 5 points. Over 1,900 conversions, a cost per sale of $9, and increased ad budget overall. And you can see that revenue here increased to 300K. That's over a 900% increase. ROAS increased 47%. Here, you see conversions or sales increased 700% on this account. So how we got these results essentially was, first, the Performance Max campaigns were not set up properly to optimize for our target cost per sale of $10. So when looking at the settings, this is the very first thing you want to see in a Performance Max campaign, because if this isn't done properly, it doesn't matter what creative you have, what types of signals, these need to be allocated properly for the conversions that you want to get. So we were on a maximize conversion value, but after speaking to the client, I figured out that they actually want a $10 cost per sale. So we initially started with the maximize conversions to get more data in the account, and then we slowly switched over to a target CPA of $10 once we had about 40 to 50 sales in a 30-day period with that new bid strategy, so that it's out of learning and we can optimize based off of that. Updated the languages to English as well. Also updated the locations to people physically in that area and not interested in. That's also what we were set to. And we had no audience signals being tested at all. And if you watch any of my other videos, you can know why this is bad, because when you leave open targeting for Google, you're basically letting it go for whoever it wants, which sometimes it can perform well. But if you're on a stricter budget or your margins aren't that great, you don't really have the money to afford Google wasting your budget all the time. So you can see this was like the first ad that they had here, where they had no signal and it really wasn't performing as well as you needed it to. And over time, we tested a bunch of different types of signals here. So people that were like in market for off-road vehicles here, different keyword insights we tested and paused at different times, because with audience signals, they can have ad fatigue and you want to test consistently. Even if it's profitable at a certain point, it can fall off after a while. Remarketing signals, more in-market signals, depending on how strong the index is. So essentially in Google, in the Google Ads dashboard and everything, within Insights, it will tell you how strong someone's likely to convert based on that in-market signal, if it's trending to that point. So you can see that within Insights. So this is very important to keep up to date and to look at least once a month to make sure that certain indexes are performing better than others. So you can see index here are people that are in market are more likely to convert here. So you can see some stuff has a 100x index versus others aren't as strong. So you always want to be looking back and testing, because these are always changing. And you can update your signals obviously off of this, but you also want to update your creative as well. So you're not just letting it run and having Google test for you. So you can see tested a bunch of different ones, remarketing, add abandoned cart, all these, and depending on how they converted, they were paused or they were running for a little bit of time. So that helped scale this account so much more and actually had a testing cadence within it. That's number one. The next thing in this account is we had no search campaigns going properly. And PMax helps pick up a lot of this through dynamic search ads, but we essentially want to have a better ad rank. So creating ad copy in search campaigns can usually outperform PMax and get you a lower cost per click. Specifically, having a brand campaign that protects your brand name was very important for this client, because you can see there's a lot of different competitors here that are bidding on our brand name, either directly or indirectly. When I say indirectly, that can be for Performance Max if they're targeting audience signals, and our brand is just associated with the product, or if they're doing Performance Max and or they're directly creating a search campaign that's targeting our keyword or Performance Max audience signals that are going for our website. So this is how we can essentially get targeted by other brands. So having a brand campaign is very important to protect it, and this can help optimize for newer accounts to get more sales initially. So you can see here, this helped us generate 153 more sales at the lowest cost per sale of $5, and protected our brand from competitors as well. So that was very important for this client not to lose a bunch of different revenue and sales overall. Next, we also want to have a lot of experimentation in this account, like I like to have with all of them. So initially, when we were switching over the different bid strategies for the brand campaign and Performance Max, we like to set experiments that increased sales 100% here that was applied. And we have current experiments that are going that increase return on ad spend 53%, increased conversions 129%. So you always want to constantly be testing in the account and doing experiments, not just flipping everything over immediately. And these things are really going to help the account overall perform a lot better. Not just showing wins in the account, but we also want to see experiments that didn't do as well. So we tested a search remarketing campaign similar to how we had brand, because Performance Max is going to pick up some branded terms unless you do exclusions, and it's going to pick up remarketing. But you want to break these out specifically to see how they perform better in case Performance Max misses out on some. So we tested that with about $500 with the remarketing search. As you can see, there were no sales coming from it. There were add to carts and such, but no sales. So we decided to kill it because Performance Max is doing fine with this remarketing signals instead of just continuing to run with that. Similar to shopping, we also were picking up and getting some sales from our shopping campaigns, but it wasn't profitable enough for us to keep running. So shopping is going to pick up some sales that PMax would miss out on, but sometimes they're not all profitable. So it's better to not even target these audiences in the auction for certain types of campaigns, unless your cost per click is low enough and you start to pick up different types of cheaper users. So that's why it's good to like manually bid like we're doing here and just get those users that our Performance Max just isn't picking up at that point. Finally, to make our audiences even that much better, we want to make sure that you're always refreshing some type of negative keywords in the account. So you can like review your search terms consistently and kind of see, okay, what search terms are performing the best, and then excluding and adding negative keywords over time. This is going to help keep your click-through rate high, lower your cost per click, and increase your conversion rate so that you're not just letting Google pick whatever, but we're actually adding negative keyword lists for products that are either very similar to ours or completely irrelevant. As the campaign account gets more mature, it's going to be mostly products that are similar but not our direct, or competitor terms that are going to the wrong landing page. So you want to make sure this is tight, and then you can scale the 300K plus revenue while maintaining a 17x ROAS like this client. If you'd like to see results like this on your Google Ads account, reach out to me for a free one-on-one consultation below.